Salutation disc golf fans, it's your boy Jefferson and I'm wearing shoes like a normal person. If you've been living under a rock 3 for the past year, I find it incredibly difficult that you wouldn't have run into one of these videos. On May 16th, 2023, a streak would begin. Not any old streak, no, we're talking about the quest for the Halo Groove.
The day I started was May 16th, 2023. Turned 35, I was like, man, like Barack Obama said, it's time for a change. Well, I wanted a star groove, and then I'm like, well, if I'm gonna go big, I gotta go big. So let's get a Halo groove. I kind of knew I was gonna start it on my birthday. If I'm gonna do it, if I'm gonna start it, I'm gonna start it on my birthday.
Before we get any more into this, I probably should explain how the Disc Golf Jesus name even started. Because there's gonna be hella comments saying James Conrad already is, yet no one calls him that.
How did I get the name Disc Golf Jesus? Well, there was this podcast called Kirby's Disc Golf World, which was me, Jefferson, and Quinn, who is now referred to as Swiss Cheese. We started off with everybody doing an intro, and I gave Quinn's the nickname Swiss Cheese because he had a huge ass hole in his leg. The thing was, his name's Swiss Cheese, not just for the holes in his leg, but the holes in his game. So then the next week, Jefferson does this really elaborate one and uses Swiss Cheese and Disc Golf Jesus.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Plug Master, and I'm not talking about butts, JK Disc Golf, bringing you episode 6 with my co-host, Lieutenant Dan Wannabe, who can't seem to get his discs to turn right, Swiss Cheese himself. And we can't forget the self-proclaimed whitewashed superhero from the sky that even though his wife works at a shoe store, still only owns one pair of Ronald McDonald looking ass shoes. Disc Golf motherfucking Jesus. How you guys doing?
And for those that don't know, Disc Golf Jesus, yeah, he's my uncle. But I'm sure most of you are wondering, why the hell a Halo Groove? Well, from about the time I started disc golfing, the groove was beloved by DG Jesus. It was the first disc he found that was meant specifically for sidearm shots. And if you've watched the series, you know Disc Golf Jesus isn't very fond of the backhand. From there, it became the staple mid-range in his bag. Yeah, you heard that right. But we're just going to move on past that one. Playing disc golf every day seems like a dream to most of us. However, that doesn't mean there wasn't hardships along the way, especially when Jesus doesn't fill in the fans of the little details he had to go through.
There was a day I was really sick. I was throwing up and off camera. There was that day. Day I got pulled over and got a ticket going to a brand new course. Had to park on the road. One of the bad snow days. It was a week or two where I had a brace on my wrist. Playing Randall Oaks for the first time. The third hole is played right up against this barbed wire fence. And in my head, I'm going to throw it over the fence. I'm going to throw it over the fence. I threw it over the fence. It was far, it wasn't close to the fence. It was 6 feet, the opposite, over the fence. So there was no way of me, finagling it. So I'm like, okay. I got to climb the fence. So climb the fence, get over fine, get the disc over. I'm like, cool. Climbing back over, I don't know what happened. I think I caught my foot because I got a little scratch on my foot too. I flip over and it cut my wrist. I think it was 8 stitches in my wrist.
I'll let him tell the full details of these stories on his own channel one day, which you guys should go check out because there's so much randomness to every single round he plays. He already has a video out that goes through every ace he's hit on the quest. 12 months full of aces, which was a driving force in him going each and every day.
Chasing that streak helped it too. It helped keep 365, just chasing the 12-month streak. There was a lot of stuff that kept me going. The aces kept me going. Different courses kept me going. Before this one, I never played the old leathers, and that was 10-15 minutes away from my house.
I'm sure if you're watching this video, you know the Halo Groove was made this year for April Fool's Day. And I wanted to get to the bottom of why Calvin Heimberg was bestowed with this disc. So I asked him at the Jonesboro press conference. People want to know, are you bagging the Halo Groove?
I have not thrown the Halo Groove yet. No, I do have a box of them waiting for me, but I have not got a chance to throw them. That was my go-to distance driver when I was playing in advance though. So I got approached by, the people at the factory store. They wanted to do something for April Fools, and I was like, sure, let's do it. But yeah, I have not gotten a chance to throw them. I'm very interested to see how they fly. The Groove, I think it gets more hate than it probably deserves just by how it feels. I think it actually flies pretty good.
April 1st was an insane day, and it's only right to let Disc Golf Jesus tell his story of that infamous day.
April 1st comes around, I'm feeding my son breakfast, pancakes. I get a call from Jefferson, and it's, I'm like, what? He's like, so Innova. I'm like, what? He's like, go to Innova's website, Halo Groove, go. And I'm like, dope. So I go on there. I don't even think tour series. I just think Halo Groove. I'm like, nobody made this a fucking tour series. And lo and behold, somebody had to have a tour series. That's the only way they were making this Halo Groove, I guess. I can't find it, so I'm like, Jefferson, I can't find it. So Jefferson sends me it, and I'm like, dope. I'm buying one. I'm like, what color am I buying? I'm like, I'm gotta get the blue because that's the disc that doesn't look like any of my discs. The day I received it, I took it out to the course and shot a video. And then I'm like, I need another Halo Groove. So I find disc for dads, and they're selling Halo Grooves. I'm like, I don't care what color it is. I don't care about the stamp. That's the only difference as long as it's green.
Craziest thing is, there's more to that day that makes it even more unreal. Seriously, I'm still debating if we're in a simulation or not.
So on April 1st, I go to the pole. I was throwing the groove really well. I parked a couple of shots with the groove. I step up to hole 12, which is a really short, tight little window. I throw the eye-dye groove that was given to me by Eric. And it was just straight. Problem is, my dumb ass has my mic muted. It's not that it was a raw long distance. I played the whole round with my mic muted. It's aced with a groove on the release of the Halo Groove. 12 months in a row on hole 12. It was just poetic.
It would only take him a couple more days to hit possibly the greatest ace of all time.
I do Halo Groove only because I have two now. First two holes I throw the Halo Groove. Second hole I play, step up.
First ever Halo Groove ace. Yes!
Poetic is the only way to describe it, just like the entire quest for the Halo Groove. Most of you watch Disc Golf Jesus for 60 seconds a day, which is longer than I jerk off, so pretty impressive. However, you guys don't realize how he actually plays disc golf, so I'll let him describe that for you.
Probably count the number of times I had somebody with me on your fingers and toes, maybe. Besides, even if you take my son out, then it's probably with your hands. I'm trying to go to different places for the fans so they see different courses, not the same courses. The only time I hit Fairfield, which is closest course, is in emergencies. Usually when I'm pulling up to the course 3-5 minutes out, I usually look back in my back seat to make sure my discs are there because I have forgotten my disc more than once. When we play, we throw 3-4 discs, but there's times where I only throw one for puller holes, but I'm throwing 3 maybe. Xcal, Synapse, and Warbird are three frisbees that are interchangeable. So if I throw the Warbird, I might also throw the Xcal. If I throw the Xcal, I might also throw the Synapse.
He might not play with other people, but that doesn't stop fans from coming up to him, even in grocery stores.
The first time in public was July 4th. My wife was doing a 5K. So as I'm walking past the finish line, this guy's like, "You're Disc Golf Jesus." I'm like, "Yes, I am." Shook his hand. That was my first interaction was at the 4th of July 5K. Most recent interaction was self-checkout line, waiting. The person not in front of me, the person in front of them was like, "You're Disc Golf Jesus." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "They made the Halo Groove." I'm like, "I know." He's like, "How does it fly?" I'm like, "It's stable as fuck." And he's like, "That's awesome." I'm like, "Yeah, it is."
Personally, I think masking the disc with Calvin's face was just a ploy in order to get the approval of the manufacturing of the Halo Groove. But we all know who was spreading the good word for months. You can tell me Innova had no idea about the quest, but I emailed them back in October and this was the response I received. I don't know. That answer makes me think he had some sort of influence. And if Innova isn't going to give Disc Golf Jesus the credit he deserves, you have me here to do it for him. Come on. The dude played disc golf for a year straight with the only goal of getting a Halo Groove made. People laughed at him and said it was impossible. But Jesus is a man of the people, so I'll respond back to the haters for him. Go fuck yourself. 366 days straight of playing disc golf with plenty of stories. So if you want to hear those, go check out Disc Golf Jesus' channel, where hopefully he'll start telling more of those stories from the quest, because I shouldn't be the only one that gets to hear them.
Check out at Disc Golf Jesus on Instagram and YouTube. I post a bunch of shots, shorts. I'm going to try to post more long videos.
Today also happens to be May 16th, 2024. Yeah, Disc Golf Jesus' birthday. So do me a favor and head over to his channel, drop him a subscribe, maybe even a comment. Let's celebrate not only his birthday, but a year straight of playing disc golf and getting that Halo Groove. For not you, but for the world. Thanks, Disc Golf Jesus, and happy birthday.
Jesus.
What's this? That's dope. Thanks, man.